we will look at subdivision levels. I'm just going to open up this female head again. And Shift F, get the wireframe here. We can see that this is the poly count we're working with, and when we were sculpting previously, it's kind of evident that we have a very limited resolution here. So if I have a kind of a small draw size and I want to, let's say I want to add some blood vessels here or something, you can see I really don't have, I simply don't have enough polys to do that. So under the geometry tab here, we can hit divide. And this will subdivide the mesh. So just like doing a subdivision in Maya, it will quadruple the poly count and do a smooth algorithm, so give you a smooth result. You can turn that off if you want. But for organic models, we typically want to have smooth results. And now we're at about 50,000 polys. Just divide again, we should be at around 200,000. One more time, 800,000. And now we should see, if I try to add some blood vessels again, now we have more fidelity. Able to, or let's do a C sub. Now we have some more resolution. So the beauty here is that this information is currently stored in the 4th subdivision level, but I can still go down. So let's say Shift D. Shift D, you see, is the hotkey to toggle down in subdivision levels. And I can even make changes on this level. So let me turn this back to C add. So if you want to make some large overall changes, keep sculpting on this level and just keep going back up, and the information here in the higher levels will remain intact. It's obviously a very powerful system. So Shift D and D to go back up. Shift D and D. So this is the history state here. I'm just going to drag this way back. Just going back in time to the beginning, and then I can go edit, delete, undo history. So I'm back to start. So I can hit here divide to initially do the first subdivisions, or Control D would be the hotkey for that. So I just want to point out here though, if you just press D, that's actually a different function. That's the, to enter dynamic subdivision levels. And I don't want to do that for this. Dynamic subdivision levels are very much like pressing the number 3 in Maya to do a subdivision preview, which is very different. So just be mindful of that. Let me do a normal subdivision divide. So Control D, Control D, Control D. Now we're at 800,000. And now if I hit dynamic subdivision levels, which I don't want to do, but now it's active. This is how you can tell. You have to go in here and say, oh, it's actually activated. You will see that, it lags terribly much. Like I can't really sculpt this way. The whole thing feels like your computer is breaking down. But if you see this, chances are you activated dynamic subdivision by mistake. So then just turn it off. And then you should experience that ZBrush is very super efficient at working at higher subdivision levels. You shouldn't experience that kind of lagging. So that's just, I want to mention that. So initially don't press D, just press Control D. And D is the hotkey just to toggle up in subdivision level once you already have subdivided. So D to toggle up, Shift D to toggle down. So anyways, those are the basic settings for subdivision levels, and kind of basic and powerful feature. So I recommend just grabbing this demo head and try to add some subdivision levels and see how you can be more specific at adding blood vessels or kind of wrinkle patterns or whatever you want to do. And then for the larger changes you want to sculpt, try to hit Shift D and work kind of seamlessly between these polygonal levels. You can also smooth at this level without destroying the higher fidelity you're sculpting in the higher levels.